Todd Halleck here today, talking to you about your personal effects. I was reading an article over the weekend by author Ann Patchett where she talked about trying to declutter her life and get rid of personal property after she had gone through trying to sort through her friend's father's personal effects after his death, and realizing how much stuff she had accumulated. And even though some of the things were really interesting and had really great memories around them, people just couldn't absorb them into their lives. There was too much of it, and it made me think about planning for our personal effects. And I'm sitting here today in my house on a couch that belonged to my great great grandmother, and I'm holding a screwdriver that my great great grandfather, who had immigrated here from Hungary, machined back in the early 1900s, and that's somehow found their way into my possession. And they're things that we enjoy, but there's been a lot of stuff over the years that have just had to go by the wayside, and I'm sure we all worry that it's going to end up somehow on the Antiques Roadshow. But the reality is that most of us can't absorb all of this stuff back into our lives. So what do we do with it? Well, the reality is that when you pass away, most of your personal effects, like this couch or this screwdriver, are probably going to end up either being sold or being donated to something like the Deseret Industries or the Goodwill, or simply being thrown away, depending on what's most appropriate. And so what you need to do is focus on those things that are going to be most likely to create problems in your estate. And most states have something like this, which is the personal property memorandum. And this personal property memorandum can be a great tool for planning for your personal effects upon your death. You simply list the item of personal property and who it's supposed to go to, and then you sign and date it. But there's three things that I always tell my clients that they need to remember about this personal property memorandum. First, you need to be consistent. Whatever you put on paper, make sure that's what you're sharing with people. Sometimes moms and dads don't want to be the bad guy, and so they don't want to tell kids what they've actually decided to do. It's really important that you be accurate and honest about what you've decided, because if you aren't, something that's going to cause problems down the road. The second thing that I tell people is, if you get rid of something while you're alive, make sure you take it off the list. Sure as anything, if it's on the list and it's supposed to go to your son or daughter, and it's not there and they don't have it, they're going to think that somebody took it. So make sure you take it off the list. And the third thing, again, they can't absorb it all. So don't feel like you've got to inventory your entire house. Focus on those things that are really going to, like I say, be important to people, that you want to make sure are going to a specific person or you think people might argue about. And this personal property memorandum tool can be a great way to address that in a way that you don't have to keep coming back and changing your estate plan time and again. You just can simply change that document. So as I sit here on this couch that belonged to my great grandmother, hopefully that reminds you of some personal effects that may exist in your life that you want to get taken care of. And I hope you found this helpful.